Hello, I'm Joanne Jenkins, Chief Executive Officer of AARP, America's largest membership organization with 38 million Americans 50 and over. And we're proud to serve nearly 6 million AARP members who are current or former military service members. We've created free resources, tools, and community programs to help veterans and military families meet their daily challenges head-on, whether on the job or at home. For example, the AARP Fraud Watch Network, in partnership with Operation Protect Veterans, has a new online Veterans Fraud Center detailing the latest scams targeting veterans and military families and tips on how to stay safe. AARP's Veterans and Military Spouse Job Center provides a one-stop job hub where you can get free tools, resources, and skills builder courses, and our job board directly connects veterans and military spouses to service-friendly employers wanting to hire them. When you're a military veteran caregiver, you start young, care longer, and face many unique challenges. That's why AARP provides a military caregiving guide and a veterans health benefits navigator. Through our 53 state offices and nationwide network, AARP can help you find a new mission through volunteer service that provides the right opportunity to give back to your community and fellow veterans. At AARP, we're on a mission to support veterans and military families. Thank you.
Well, thank you to AARP CEO Joanne Jenkins. I'm Kathy Roth. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Blue Star Families. We're really thrilled to have all of you here with us today. So here's how the show is going to work today. This event is about you, military spouses, veteran spouses. We want you to engage in the conversation. You can submit your questions in the live chat for our panelists to answer. If they can't get to them, members of our team at Blue Star Families and at AARP are ready to answer them in the chat. We have our moderator and our guest panelists, Laura Torres, our Blue Star Families Associate Director for Workforce Engagement and Diverse Talent Sourcing, Juanita Jimenez Soto, AARP's Associate State Director of Communications, and Dr. Andrea Sutton, Director of Operations, Veteran and Military Spouse Talent Engagement Program, which is called VM STEP at the Department of Veteran Affairs. We'll hear testimonials from spouses who had a sneak peek at the courses so they can share their opinions. I really feel very close to this topic today because as a military spouse myself, for many years, I experienced a lot of these challenges. I had to leave my career behind shortly after marrying my husband when we got transferred from Washington, D.C. to Okinawa. And I had to reinvent myself, not once, but many times. I went back to school. I got a law degree. But even with that degree, the way I first thought I would practice law didn't work when we moved. And I had to pick another area of practice and then another, and then shift out of law and into other areas until I found a way to keep my career going. These are common problems that many of us experience connected to the military lifestyle. But we also know that the ability for military spouses to work is critical, not only for their families, but for our national security. You know, one of the top reasons that otherwise promotable people leave military service is because they're concerned about their spouse's abilities to pursue a career or to field that second income that all families need. We also find that when veterans are transitioning out of service, they are significantly assisted if their spouse is working. So there are so many reasons as a matter of family well-being and as a matter of public policy for all of us to care about military spouses, veteran spouses, and their workforce challenges. Blue Star Families Military Family Lifestyle Survey provides us with insight into the experiences of military spouses and veterans so we can build programming that works for you. And we do long-term social impact studies to also better understand what works. We are building a network of trust by being the friend and neighbor who walks with you through your military life cycle, from the beginning throughout into veteran status, to help you find the things that that help you be successful in your lives. As we mentioned, the military is currently experiencing recruitment and retention crisis that's never before been seen in the history of the all-volunteer force. And we know that spouse employment plays a key role in military family decision-making. 1 in 4 active duty military spouses are indicate that they or their service member would leave military service due to an employment challenge encountered by the civilian spouse. That's a big number. 2/3 of employed active duty military respondents in our most recent survey had done some of their work remotely in the previous year. The vast majority are in career fields that offer remote opportunities, but have not had the chance to work fully remotely. And they said that they would like to work remotely. So that gives us an insight into what kinds of things are necessary for military spouses to be successful. We have preliminary data in from a really exciting study that we're doing with the support of USAA, PenFed Foundation, and Navy Federal Credit Union. It's our military spouse employment research, which shows that military connected spouses are completing certifications and some are changing career fields frequently. Within the 6 months preceding the survey fielding, 14% of military connected spouse respondents had changed their career field for their primary employment. And separately, another 9% reported they had completed a new certification in just 6 months prior to the survey. 5% had a new degree. So we are always learning. We are always getting new capacity. We'll be discussing this and more, particularly in regards to what AARP has to offer. So I want to thank AARP for their continued support for military connected families. AARP is involved today to help military spouses and veterans skill up using free online courses that they've developed for future professional development. AARP's Veteran and Military Spouse Job Center is free. It's full of free courses, tools, and resources to give all of us an edge in our next job search. So I am now delighted to pass the torch to my excellent colleague, Laura Torres. Laura, thanks for being here.
Thank you, Kathy. Thank you so much for all of your support and leadership, and as well, and thank you everyone who is out there listening, supporting, and we'll look forward to your comments. And of course, thank you for joining us all today. We look forward to your comments. I'm Laura Torres, Associate Director here at Blue Star Families of Workforce Engagement and Diverse Talent Sourcing. And I am also a proud military spouse of a Marine Corps veteran who transitioned a few years back. Our family went through this process, of course, of transitioning, upscaling, and trying to identify our happily ever after. And so I've lived the experience just like you, many of you who are looking for that smooth transition to the workplace. And it can be, because I am a reflection of what that particular transition can be. But my experience began a few years back before our final date. So transitioning into the civilian career after the military, as all of you have heard, can be very difficult and complex. But the sooner you can invest in understanding the process, what are some the needed support that your family may need, maybe your career transition that you might be experiencing, where you're going, you definitely can certainly set yourself up for success. In today's very competitive market, it's definitely a key part of it is to team up with two incredible, awesome, phenomenal professionals here in the workplace who are here to tell us and contribute to the transitioning discussion that we're going to have with you in just a little bit. But also they will share with our community audience some essential tools, tricks, and best practices. But most importantly, they identified with our Blue Star Careers mission. And right here at Blue Star Careers, I'm very proud and honored to have the commitment to empower military spouses through their career life journey. And so we want to make sure that all of our members are connected with geographically and culturally relevant programming, resources that align with our military lifestyle, no matter where we go. So make sure that you continue to, of course, share with us where you are connecting from. We'd love to be able to connect with you. But without further ado, I'd love to be able to go and welcome our guest. I'm honored to share the stage today with Juanita Jimenez Soto, who is an AARP Associate State Director of Communications, and Dr. Andres Sutton, who is the Director of Operations at the Veteran and Military Spouse Talent Engagement Program. So really incredible members from our community who are certainly here to empower you and to share great resources with you. Guest, how are you today? Welcome to this amazing webinar. I look forward to our discussion. Juanita, may I hear a little bit more about you?
Sure. Let me begin by saying how honored and humbled I am to be here before you. Thank you for having me. Now, a little bit about me. I'm Juanita Jimenez Soto, a Tejana, who has been working with AARP for nearly 10 years as a multimedia communications professional. I'm an award-winning journalist. I have 25 years experience in broadcast news, 15 plus years experience in digital media. I am the proud wife of a Navy veteran, proud mom of a West Point honors graduate, now a lieutenant in the U.S. Army, and proud aunt to a member of the U.S. Coast Guard. I have a bachelor's degree in broadcast journalism, a master's in higher education administration, and several certifications, including strategic communications, digital marketing and social media, business analytics and statistics, and a mini MBA from Pepperdine University. I never stop learning. And I hope that the information I share with you today will inspire you to learn and to help those, to help open those professional doors for you and your loved ones. It is my pleasure to share those resources with you today.
What an incredible career trajectory. Thank you so much, Juanita, for sharing with us, all of you, your also military connection. Thank you so much for your service. Dr. Sutton, would you please tell us a little bit more about you and your military connection? Welcome.
Absolutely. Well, first and foremost, I am a retired Air Force Chief Master Sergeant and a doctor of behavioral health. I have the privilege and honor of working for the VA now for 16 years since I've retired, and I lead a group of dynamic individuals, and our VA mission is to increase the ratio of veterans and military spouses within the VA workforce. And we take that mission very seriously. And I'm proud and honored to be able to share information that will hopefully get all of you considering VA for your next move. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. So let's dive into some of the tools and resources that are available so that we can set up our community for success. We heard from Kathy referencing during the introduction about 26% of our active duty military spouse respondents indicate that their service member will leave the military active duty due to employment challenges encountered by themselves, by their civilian spouse. Now, in today's competitive workforce, I'm personally very involved here. I understand that upskilling in digital skills are critical factors in gaining professional and personal development when entering or re-entering the workplace. And I'm very proud that AARP and its Veteran Military Spouse Job Center can offer the community the tools and the resources that support that you need for this transition. Trust me, I tested it, and it's such an amazing community. But Juanita, tell us more about the AARP Veteran and Military Spouse Job Center.
Well, thank you for that. AARP has done a lot of research in the work and job space. And most recently in 2022, a survey revealed that more than half, we're talking about 56% of companies surveyed said that experience and the use of skills in previous positions, including military service, they are very important when evaluating an applicant's skills. And our research also shows that job seekers want to upskill and continue to learn and challenge themselves and find a career that's meaningful. We also know that women of color, military spouses, and older workers tend to face more barriers in the workplace. Many military spouses and women also tend to be caregivers, which can be a disadvantage. So we need to support and empower them and give them a leg up to create equality and equity in the workforce. So that's why we created the Veterans and Military Spouses Job Center. We wanted to help bridge the divide between the employers who want military candidates and veterans and military spouses, many of whom have unique skills they learned from their service, both at home and in the field. We know the value you bring to employers, and we want to help you be successful along the journey, whether as part of a military transition or a change of career during midlife. The Job Center lays out a path that's easy to follow. It offers guidance for even before a military transition, from how to launch your career with the right mindset to a free resume advisor and free professional development courses. Yes, I said free. Once you're ready to apply, we have a pre-selected career paths for veterans based on the in-demand industries where they've seen a lot of success. AARP.org/Vets Job Center also takes military spouses directly to military-friendly employers who are offering remote positions.
Phenomenal. Thank you so much. There's definitely, as I mentioned, it's definitely a lot of great content and resources available there. So I definitely encourage you, community, to look for the link that is being shared in the comments so that you can, of course, start getting access to it. But let me refer to Dr. Sutton about some of those most common challenges veterans might face when transitioning their military skills and perhaps experience to civilian terms. So can you help me break this down a little bit more and to understand a little bit better, Dr. Sun?
Absolutely, because I actually lived it myself. So
Great.
one of the biggest challenge that most individuals that are transitioning out of the military have is how do you actually translate your background and your experience in what we like to call civilian language. And so what I found, one of the most dynamic tools that are out there for those that are seeking federal employment as well as private industry employment is a tool that's put out by ONET, which is run by the Department of Labor. And when you go to that tool, it used to be called the Dictionary of Occupational Titles. There's a tab on there called My Next Move for Veterans. And if you put in your military occupational code, it will pull up a list of civilian occupations that are most closely related to your military occupational code. They will also give you a translated, when you put in your military occupational code, it'll also give you a translation of what your military job was in civilian language that typically you can simply lift that information and then modify it, putting in your own personal information, saying where you were actually stationed, how many people you might have actually supervised, etc. And then you can use that as a basis for formulating your resume or your job application.
Great. That is fantastic. That's definitely, I think, one of the missed opportunities that some of our members might have to not get access early on to translate some of these skills. So thank you so much. Now, Juanita, I think I'm going to call us comadres of ongoing learning opportunities. And so our community also, we want to make sure that we make these free accredited continuing education courses available. But let's talk about what our members, some of our members were able to get some sneak peek and really try it out what these courses could be like. So, and I was very impressed with the quality and the content of these courses, not to mention, of course, highlight that have really focused on top industries to include remote work. Can you tell us more, a little bit more about these courses, why they might be contributing to our work career in your experience, especially because you're always learning?
Well, AARP's Veteran and Military Spouse Job Center is offering 10 free accredited courses total. Several of the courses are part of larger professional certification packages, which also, many employers, they value that. Companies know that you've done the work to stay up to date on changes in the industry and in technology. And you can find those courses at aarp.org/Vets Job Center. Now, the courses teach the skills needed for high-paying, high-growth industries, including information technology and data analysis, nonprofit management, digital marketing, and financial services, among others. Many of these industries offer flexibility and remote work, especially the health, IT, and marketing sectors. Now, my experience, for example, AARP offers remote roles across the country, and other nonprofits have embraced remote and hybrid work as well. Not to mention they value work-life balance, continuing education, and they even offer grant tuition reimbursement. My continuing education courses help me get the leg up and get the job at AARP. And through my certifications, I have been able to spread my wings at AARP and bring innovative and much needed skills to my local, state, and national teams. Upskilling, and I love that word, upskilling will not only help you in your day-to-day work, but it will also get you noticed and may lead to promotions.
Absolutely. And it is through upskilling that we get to be a little bit more competitive, but also understand the processes of so many employment opportunities that are available out there to our community. Now, I want to refer back to Dr. Sutton. So, Dr. Sutton, so as a candidate, I got access to some upskilling options. So I'm feeling very confident. I'm ready to seek employment, and I want to choose the VA as an option. In your experience, what are some of those top, optical VA occupations that are ideal for transitioning veterans and military spouses? And one other question, where can I connect my skilling opportunities and background so that it can make a much smoother transition?
Okay, well, great. Well, I'm hoping I'm going to remember both of those questions because I have a lot of information to share in regards to that. So if not, keep me on point, Laura. But
Of
first and
course.
foremost, as I mentioned earlier, we're in the business of trying to increase our workforce with talented and qualified veterans and military spouses. So we want you to know that we actually are looking for you. And one of the ways that you can actually utilize that is by going to usajobs.gov. And there's a medallion that actually indicates this job is specifically set aside, and we want individuals to consider military spouses. So when you see a military spouse friendly job, understand that's specifically where the hiring manager has determined that that is a market that they actually want to tap into. So, but the top occupations that we're looking for now within the VA, first and foremost, I want to put in mental health practitioners. As I mentioned before, I'm a doctor of behavioral health. We're looking for social workers. We're looking for LPC, licensed professional counselors, licensed professional mental health counselors, as well as marriage and family therapists. We're also looking for those that have law enforcement backgrounds to go into our security administration. Now, that's a great job for a lot of folks that are transitioning out of the military that may have that type of a background, or someone that may have done it in the military spouse aspect as a civilian. We're also looking for human resources. We have a large human resources department within the VA. We're the second largest federal agency with over 430,000 and growing employees within our workforce. We're also looking for veterans claims examiners, and that's a position in which, you know, it has a positive education requirement in some cases, and you know, it's a job in which the individuals are actually helping veterans put together their claims or doing an assessment of their disabilities and determining what they may be entitled to from that standpoint. We also have a large contracting and acquisitions department in which we have training academies to train individuals for that, as well as IT is another big department that we have within the VA, and so much more. So not all of these jobs require four-year degrees, okay? Some of these jobs have a positive education requirement or a positive certification requirement. Some of them are just looking for those with a high school diploma and maybe 1 or 2 years of experience. The bottom line is that you should look at every job announcement that's listed on usajobs.gov, read it carefully, and see whether or not you match the qualifications and actually apply, because we are serious when we say that we are looking to increase the ratio within our workforce. And,
Excellent.
you know, if you find that you have the skills, reach out to us and we'll be more than happy to assist.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Excellent. And I'm sorry, I was going to add that, you know, these upscaling opportunities, of course, that we are presenting here on this particular webinar and moving on, are ideal to be able to connect some of these backgrounds to some of these incredible careers. Now, Dr. Sutton, though, the VA, of course, for employment, it does require a federal application. You did mention earlier about different sites where we can go and get a little bit more background and do some research ahead of time. But what this process sometimes can be a little bit challenging for some of our members, especially when you are re-entering the workplace or trying to just, you know, figure things out on your own terms. But what is the VA doing to break down some of these barriers?
I'm so glad that you asked that because, again, as my office is, we're out here to do talent engagement for veterans and military spouses, as well as transitioning military individuals. So monthly now, we offer a free federal application webinar. We just held one earlier this week in which we actually are there on site to help you break down how to actually read a vacancy announcement, as well as one of our key points that we point out to individuals is, if at all possible, we do recommend that you use the resume builder in usajobs.gov. That affords you the flexibility to increase the information in your resume. If you need to tailor it for a specific job, if you didn't give enough information the first time and you want to get it done in a quick and an easy formatted manner, using the resume builder affords you that opportunity to do so. It's not mandatory. You can still utilize your regular resume, but if you want to make sure that you're giving yourself the best opportunity, then we recommend that you use the resume builder on usajobs.gov. But please attend our free class. When we do the webinars, it's going to be posted on our website, vaforvets.va.gov, and I think it will be included. We also posted on the OPM events page, and it's a live class, so we will have staff on hand to actually answer your questions in the chat in real time. So it's a great way to demystify the process and to understand how to make yourself the most marketable person you can for the VA employment.
Awesome. And for our community, you can betcha that I'm going to post that link for and support Dr. Sun's office, as well as for the engagement, to make sure that you get access to some of these trainings and webinars when you have the opportunity to attend. Thank you so much for that. Now, Juanita, just like the BA, of course, AARP Center offers fantastic tools. We got a test of that. And of course, we have been also testing the AARP Resume Advisor and Transition Center, and making sure that we all get back into the right supportive as we transition to a better work, better lifestyle. Can you please tell us a little bit more about the experience in the hiring someone? How would this work?
We're talking about the AARP resume.
AARP Resume Advisor, correct. Thank you.
I can tell you from experience that hiring someone to update your resume can be expensive. The Veterans Job Center does include the AARP's Resume Advisor, which offers free resume critique, which is meant to give you an honest and straightforward assessment and some suggestions to help launch your job search. The specialist can offer insights into how you compare to other job seekers competing for the same position, because they personally review hundreds of resumes every month. The advisor will also flag all kinds of things that maybe you missed. Things like lack of keywords, redundancies, whether it's visually compelling, and so on. They will also tell you how to show the outcomes of your work or volunteer efforts and achievements versus task-based descriptions. Basically, we know you need a custom modern resume that tells you your career story, and this is a really good place to start. We also offer discounted resume writing and branding packages. For example, a career evolution package includes everything needed to apply to jobs, including a resume, a one-time with a consultant, a cover letter. AARP members receive $100 off this service. And lastly, it offers tailored resumes for candidates like you and like me. And we're talking about federal resume writing, military transition resumes, executive resume writing, and LinkedIn profile makeovers.
Awesome. So it sounds like it's a really one-stop shop for a lot of great needs as you're transitioning for that. So thank you so much for all of that, Juanita. And so now that we, of course, gain access to incredible tools, we know about the trainings, how to stay competitive in our day-to-day, job search. And let's put all this in practice. I'm going to ask Dr. Sutton here, what are some of those best practices in her experience that can be shared with current active applicants, and how they can successfully land a career at the VA? Remember, we want you to go BA route.
Absolutely. So, just following this Jimenez Soto in regards to the tools that you can find through AARP, as well as using My Next Move on the DOL site with ONET. One of the things you want to do after that, as I spoke before, is put your resume content into the resume builder. Once you've done that, you want to set up what's known as your search alerts, because if you've been looking for a federal position, you will sometimes find that the job windows are open just on a relatively short amount of time. And so if you're relying upon, remembering, oh, wow, I should basically go look for a position tonight, you may find that job actually closes in the next couple of hours at 11:59. If you set up search alerts and you put in the criteria that you're looking for, the geographic area, the type of occupation, you'll receive an email from usajobs.gov that basically alerts you whenever there's a position that matches what your interests are. When that happens, of course, then you can actually go in and apply for the position. One of the other things that you can do when you set up your account with usajobs.gov is upload your documents, your source documents, upload your transcripts, your DD-214 if you're a veteran, upload your certifications. And one of the things to know within the VA, if you are a licensed professional, we have licensure portability, which is a very good resource to have. Not all occupations have that within the VA, or not all organizations have that, employers. So if you're a nurse or if you're a mental health practitioner and you move from state to state, if you're a military spouse, this is really critical to know. You don't have to achieve licensure in every state that you move to, just as long as you have a valid license that is active within one state within the United States. You can use that license for many positions throughout the VA at many different locations. So that's the thing that I would recommend more than anything, is set up your search alerts, upload your documentation so that you're not scrambling to try to find it when you do find that perfect opportunity. and basically just apply. You know what I mean? And we also have interviewing tips and Dress for Success webinars that we offer as well within them steps. So hopefully that is helpful to all of you as well.
Well, absolutely. Definitely is very helpful, Dr. Sutton. Thank you so much for all of that. That's a wealth of incredible resources, but also proactive steps that are really achievable, I think, for the VC military spouse and transition service member, that you can take certain steps to start creating your profile at the VA. So I love that. Now, I'm going to refer back to Juanita. Juanita, as a military spouse, of course, and a very advocate, Tejana and proud military spouse, what are some of those military best practices that have worked for you in your career, also while you have been supporting your military family?
You know, continuing my education has always opened opportunities that I didn't have before, like interim opportunities to lead communication teams in Texas and Oregon. I have become a person who people turn to for communications strategic advice. I've become a beacon of innovative strategies, all by leveraging my existing experience and skills and getting certifications in fields currently in demand. It's about getting the knowledge and experience to help you grow professionally. The AARP Job Center's Veterans Job Search Toolkit was designed to do that for you. It offers a step-by-step plan for a job search, whether it's part of a military transition or a change of career during midlife. It is all at your fingertips. There are things that you can do to ensure your next professional stop. First, own your identity as a military spouse. Wear it like a badge of honor, because it is, and wear it with confidence. Your family is serving on two fronts. This is giving you precious skills, both hard skills and soft skills, like resiliency, critical thinking, adaptability, and mental toughness. That is what employers, they not only want that, they need it. And once you embrace your identity, you can decide if you want to start fresh and switch careers entirely, or if you want to upskill for a promotion or just finding a new job in your current industry. Don't forget, when starting your journey, you have to take time to formulate a plan. Be deliberate and strategic. AARP's Job Search Toolkit, which is for veterans and military spouses, can help you do that too. It starts with the mental steps that you must take before you apply for that first job. Asking the tough questions, like, what do I want to contribute to? How will I give back but actually enjoy what I'm doing day to day? It can also guide you in making these decisions early, and also it'll help you assess your values and motives. Do you want to work from home, or do you want, you crave structure and you want structure? Can you happily spend hours managing budgets and organizing spreadsheets? Or does sitting in front of a computer all day sound kind of, terrible? Find a purpose or a mission that you want to support as well. For example, let's say I value AARP's mission because ... and you fill in the blank. And be realistic when you are assessing your skills and your comfort level. Explore your options, draw up a list of all the occupations you want to explore, and then narrow the list to your top 3 or 4. And don't forget to develop a plan. Even a rough and ready outline with a few SMART goals is enough. Also, build your brand, and this is really important. Own your brand and build your search around it. Your brand can call out your military identity in a way that connects with potential employers. It's more than what you put on a resume. It's a calling card that you can perfect and leverage throughout your career. So go out and make it your own.
Wow, that is phenomenal. And biggest takeaway, of course, thank you so much for all of that, Juanita, is wear your badge, your military spouse badge proudly. And I love that. It's such an incredible feedback and, of course, suggestions from your part and the AARP team. And we love to be able to follow up and embrace our community and lead them to successful career transition. So now for our community members, of course, who are watching and are here in the chat, please keep those comments coming. And we love to be able to connect with you afterwards. And then, of course, throughout the course of the entire Blue Star Welcome Week. This has been a phenomenal experience learning about 2 different perspectives on how to enter the workplace while setting you up for success into a much smoother transition, but most importantly, how you can rock your job with incredible tools and resources that are available at absolutely no cost to you, the military spouse community and transition service member. Now, Dr. Sutton and Juanita, thank you so much for your contributions and, of course, incredible advocacy in your own perspective communities. We should appreciate so much your time and dedication in making this segment so valid for our members and just, validating our community connection as a good, positive way to embrace our job search options. But I want to take this time, of course, to do some call to action to our community. Things that you may want to share, things that you may want to also add on that may not necessarily be reflective of our respective tools and resources. I would like to ask Dr. Sutton, can you please share with some wrapping up remarks, anything, call to action that we can support you or support your mission at the VA?
First and foremost, I want to really give a round of applause to Juanita because I've learned so much now for all the tools and resources that are out there with AARP. And I really and truly hope all of you out there that are listening find these great dynamic resources, something that you can actually leverage over here at the VA if you're applying for employment with us as well. I've been with the VA now for, as I mentioned, about 16 years. And the reason why I am thoroughly dedicated to the VA is the mission. It gives me the opportunity to give back to those that I've served with and those that are still serving. And I know there's a lot of folks out there that feel the same sense of dedication to the mission. And the VA provides you the opportunity to share that camaraderie that you once had in the military or as a military spouse, engaging with individuals that know what it takes in order to become a veteran, and they respect that. So I do encourage all of you to listen to the tools and the resources that are out there, to please attend the training, because it is a little bit complex when you apply for a federal job. It's totally different than it is in the private sector. And we understand that. And so our job and our mission here at VMSTEP, the Veterans and Military Spouse Talent Engagement Program, is to engage with you and help to demystify the process. So whether you reach out to us through VA for Vets, or you attend our webinars and you actually type into the chat box, we are here to support you. And again, when you're looking for opportunities, look for those tabs on the USA Job vacancy announcements that identify that they are military spouse friendly and veteran friendly, as well as individuals with disabilities. And we encourage you to apply. So all the best to you. Trust me, the water is fine when you're out there on the other side of this. You've done a great job in the military as a spouse and as a veteran. Now is your turn to take care of yourself and take care of your family. You took care of the mission. So we hope to see you on this side as well. Thank you again for the opportunity.
Thank you so much for that great insight and, of course, your great feedback. And let's all community call to action. Let's support our prospective communities. And, of course, let's land a job at the VA. But Juanita, for you in particular, any call to action or any suggestions you have for our community as we close this webinar?
I want to say, no tenga miedo. Don't be afraid to take the first step in building on your, growing your education and your experience. Your knowledge and experiences make you a valuable and sought after employee. Upskilling is a great way to not only reach your professional goal, but it's a way to help your family thrive. I talked about the 10 free courses that you can take anywhere and at your own pace. Take advantage of those valuable courses. Take advantage of the Resume Advisor Service and other free tools on our, Job Center. Invest in your future because you earned it and more, and you're worth it.
Absolutely, we're worth it. And wear your military spouse and military service member badge proudly. That's going to resonate with me, Juanita, for the rest of my lifetime here through Blue Star Careers. Thank you so much. And thank you, everyone. We appreciate your comments and, of course, all of your questions. That is such the exciting part of it, is to be able to lead you into great resources, but also be able to walk you through and support you more personally so that you can get all the support that you need. We're going to go back, of course, and lead you to the right career center, whatever that might be. Be sure that you don't miss it out. You can always join our Blue Star Careers community in the neighborhood. So find us in the neighborhood, of course, as I always like to say, Find Me in the Neighborhood, where you can get access and short links to the online courses, and of course, access to additional services and things, shortcuts. But you can always go straight to the AARP community as well and find those services out there. Now, now that, of course, I want to transition into some of them. We talked to you about, getting a sneak peek into some of the courses. Some of our community members got all that. Now that you all heard from an expert, and of course, and now we got some phenomenal, just, really cool transition booster here in our personal approach. Let's hear from a couple of driven military spouses who tried the AARP courses in the Job Center. And of course, not to mention, they got to upscale it absolutely no cost with AARP. And I'm very grateful for their feedback and the opportunity to hear from them. So Jennifer and Huey, welcome so much to this webinar. Please tell us about your training experience. We want to hear all about it and support you as well.
I wanted to leave a quick review for the SEO course that I just took with AARP. It was a great course. It was easy to follow. The information is very helpful. It's going to help me to build my website in the future that I need for my business. I didn't know anything about SEO before I took this course, but I got my certificate. I passed the exam, and I definitely have a lot of good information to consider so that I can reach my business goals. I really recommend this course. Easy to use, and you're going to learn a lot.
Hi, I am a Army veteran spouse. I signed up for the search engine optimization class. My biggest takeaway is that I have better understanding of what SEO is and how to utilize it. So in my future job, which as a web designer, that I can help more business, what's the best practice for their business to show up more on Google and other search engine. And thank you so much, AARP, for all the resources and the support. Thank you, Blue Star family, for this precious opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, team. Thank you for your feedback. I'm so happy that this worked out for you phenomenally, and that, of course, that your learning experience and you get a chance to share it with our community. So be sure that you, of course, go on to our Blue Star Careers community in the neighborhood so that you can connect with Jennifer and Huey, and be sure to follow with them as well, and build realistic and really real military spouse human connections. We're all here to support you. But before I go and before we wrap up this webinar, I do want to share with you a couple of more testimonials from Felicia, Leonie, and Ixtasia, who also got a chance to sneak peek some of these courses. And although we don't have a video, I just really quickly want to share some of their feedback. For instance, from Leonie, she says, quote, "I recently started the Intro to Nonprofit Management course, and I am enjoying it immensely. I'm learning new things and gaining a deeper understanding on how nonprofit works. I've always been curious about this subject and appreciate the opportunity to learn more. On average, I can spend 30 minutes daily doing coursework. Of course, if it's free, it's for me. Definitely got to take advantage of that." And then, of course, Felicia, also an Air Force military spouse, took the nonprofit management, and she wrote, quote, "Working on nonprofit is a passion of mine, and I have been volunteering with one for about 13 years now. And as a key volunteer, I now understand some of the phases and setups that would help me prepare on how to better support as a board member." So congratulations, Felicia. Thank you so much. And then, of course, one last comment from Ixtasia, also a military spouse who took the coaching course as a new supervisor. The coaching course was very beneficial. The active listening session was beneficial to me because I have some behaviors that I need to correct when I am coaching and when I'm in that mode. These expert videos were just the right touch to match the narratives of the lesson. And I'm going to add this to my role model, to my toolkit. So Ixtasia, I'm so happy that you have a toolkit. Thank you so much for sharing all of those. And I thank you everyone for being able to go and log into our Blue Star Careers community at the neighborhood and test drive some of these courses. They're all listed right there for you. So thank you so much. I'm going to direct, of course, once again, please be sure that you connect with us. All of the comments and all of the links are being shared with you in the comments. We so appreciate you spending time with us here through this webinar. I'm very grateful for our my counterparts, and of course, my professional commanders now of learning opportunities, Dr. Sutton, and of course, Juanita. Thank you so much for all of your support. I'm going to turn it back to Kathy. Thank you for watching.
Well, thank you, Laura. What a great panel. And thank you to Juanita and Dr. Sutton as well. And of course, thank you to AARP, our sponsors, for this amazing afternoon. And a very special thank you for everyone behind this at AARP for their partnership and their support of our military and veteran connected community, including their most recent endeavor to support military spouses and female veteran employment. But wait, don't go. We have one more surprise for you. A Blue Star Family event would not be complete without giveaways. So we have free one-on-one resume and cover letter coaching with Coach Carol Adams, who is amazing. She's from Ideal Resumes for You. Stick around for that. We have AirPod Pros. I have these myself. They're awesome. 3 units. They're not cheap. Win a free one. We have an iPad. We have a $100 Visa gift card. So all attendees are entered. The winners will be announced in the post-event email. If you're a winner, we would love to see your reaction. We'd love to hear from you. Blue Star Welcome Week, which is a week to welcome military and veteran families wherever they've moved, whether you've moved this summer or you moved in the last year or two and you could still use a welcome. Blue Star Welcome Week is ongoing. Learn more on our Blue Star Welcome Week website. I want to thank you once again, AARP and the VA. Look at jobs.aarp.org to learn more. And at the Blue Star Military Spouse Job Center, visit bluestarfam.org/careers. I think I have an AARP, a VA website to share with you too, but I'm trying to see where that might be. We'll put it in the chat. Visit aarp.org/work/skills-builder to access all the free courses that we discussed today. Thank you, everyone, so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed it. We'd love to hear from you. Take care.